I like Israel, I like Jewish people, like my prophet of Islam, peace be upon him. When he took refuge, first he sent his people to the Christians because they are Ahle Kitab. Then he sent them for refuge and went himself to Medina, where the Jewish tribes were. So don't you ever tell me that these people are not our people and that we must kill them. This is the kind of rhetoric that we have been hearing in California for 20 years. The campuses in California are funded, the MSAs are funded by CARE, and you guys have to also pick and choose who you're advocating with. Because for 20 years, me and my Muslim sisters, 20 of them have been harassed by the Muslim Brotherhood patriarchy that is in all these organizations. Let me tell you what one of the leaders of the Muslim organization called Muslim Public Affairs Council told me 8 years ago. Imagine 8 years ago, and you'll know where the anti-Semitism is coming from. When I was going to meet with a Jewish leader, I stood up against Irvine 11, those kids that had gone berserk, and Ambassador Oren wanted to meet me. This leader came to me, he's an Arab, Salam al-Mariati, and he said, oh sister, don't go to the Jewish people, they can't be our friends, and you can't trust them, they'll use your pictures. I thought about my father who had built Pakistan and my grandmother, and they, when I moved here, told me, Muslims thrive with Jews. We are people of the book. When we live with them and we work with them, communities thrive. And I knew that that could not be the teaching of Islam, and that these people have a separate agenda. So all this going on about anti-Semitism, is anti-Israel is not anti-Semitism? Let me tell you it is. Because Salam al-Mariati told me that, you know what, Israel is evil. They are killing the Palestinians 10, 15 years ago. And I said, no, I can't work with men like that. Anyway, these men don't even think that we are a human being. They tell us we should sit in the kitchen, we can't have a seat at the table, that we don't have a brain. I'm not going to work with them. We founded American Muslim Women. And the other civil rights leader that we all have in California, let me tell you about that gentleman, because he has harassed, discriminated, abused, almost killed one of my sisters that I've been supporting for the past 5 years. Lori Saroya. Please Google her. Look at the stories of women and know what happened to them. This civil rights leader allegedly asked her for a sexual favor, and his name is Nihad Awad. Who is he? He's the head of CARE in America. For God's sake. We want these men to be held accountable. We want to stop the funding of MSAs. I met with the Jewish organizations who are so worried about young Muslim students in medical colleges that are coming and telling them, we don't want to hear about your Holocaust because that offends us. Two imams that are our allies and went to March of Israel, March of Living with Us. 50 Muslims went to March of Living with Us. They stood at Auschwitz and they prayed. They are with you, and they are here to break this patriarchy with the Muslim sisters. But we need you guys to know what's happening.
Thank you so much. The impact that nobody seems to be talking about is something that I want to talk to you about, Carolyn, Dr. Hellman. You know, you have specialized in really looking into the impact of trauma, and especially you deal with survivors. But my question to you is, yes, what is the impact on the individual who's been traumatized and violated like that? But what is the impact on the family? And what is the impact on the community? And then, what is the impact on the entire world?
Thank you so much for making this happen. I mean, it's just incredible that we're having this conversation and that this film is getting airtime. I mean, we really owe you for that. I just want everyone to just, with me for a moment, just take a nice deep breath. Just breathe in and breathe out. And I know that's a hippy-dippy thing to do, but we've actually all experienced at least a minor trauma this evening. or tertiary trauma, as we call it, because we have borne witness, not to the explicit images, but to the testimonies of what happened on October 7th. And I just want to lay out some stats. Working with survivors, this is a particularly egregious instance or series of acts of violence. Violence or rape as a tool of war started in the late Middle Ages when rape was considered a way to show your manhood. It was considered a common or normal part of the spoils of war, and since that time, literally millions of women have been raped, mostly women, some men,